Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tamara T. I've been a full-time Amazon FBA seller for the last 4 years. In today's video, I am going to show you how to make money on Amazon FBA. This will be a complete guide for all of you newbie Amazon FBA sellers out there. Calling all newbie Amazon FBA sellers. If you are someone that is wanting to start your very own Amazon FBA business, then I encourage you to stick around to the very end of today's YouTube video because I am going to give you a complete guide on how you can get started from beginning to end. I will also refer you to some previous YouTube videos that I've done in the past so you guys can get started along in your journey. So today I will point out the most obvious things that you need to get started. The very first thing you need is obviously an Amazon Seller Central account. So I just Googled Amazon Seller Central and I ended up right here on the American Amazon Seller Central website. You should be reading through what they're saying on the website so you know exactly how to open your account. It's actually really easy. One of the most common questions I get from newbies is, can I sell on the American Amazon marketplace, or can I sell in Canada, or can I sell in Australia if I am from a different country? The answer is yes. In fact, I encourage you to start selling on the United States website for $39.99 a month plus selling fees, because this is Amazon's biggest marketplace, which gives you the biggest opportunity to make money on Amazon. You can start with an individual account or you can sign up for a professional seller account. So if we go to pricing and go to cost overview, make sure you guys spend some time on this page because this will explain to you all of the fees that will be associated when you start selling on Amazon FBA. So we have a selling plan. You can become an individual seller or a professional seller. I highly recommend the professional plan for $39.99 a month because this means you get to send your inventory to the Amazon warehouse and have their warehouse workers ship your products to your customers and take care of all of the customer service. You just sit back, relax, and focus on other areas in your business that drive revenue. So I strongly recommend professional plan at $39.99 per month. And you may also want to see the plan comparison as well. There is also something called referral fees. Referral fees mean that Amazon will take a small percentage of your sales. This is why it's so important that you understand your profit margins. When you buy your inventory, and we will discuss that later on in today's video. When you buy your inventory, you have to make sure that you are selling it at a good price on Amazon, because after referral fees and after fulfillment fees, you need to be bringing home some profit. If you are not bringing home any profit, then we have a huge issue. So there are different referral fees depending on which category you are selling on Amazon. So make sure you check this out as well. Fulfillment fees depend on which plan you have on Amazon. So earlier we were talking about the individual plan versus the professional plan. The individual plan, you are paying 99 cents per unit sold, and that goes to Amazon. But if you have a professional plan, it's only $39.99 a month, and there is no cap on how many units you can sell. So if I go down to fulfillment fees right here, it really depends on the size and weight of your product. So if you are doing FBA, fulfillment by Amazon, the smaller and lighter products will cost less. As you can see, fulfillment fee per unit will cost this much. I advise beginner sellers to start with something that is smaller. So you want to be in the small standard or large standard size tier, because if you are starting with really big products, if you are someone that thinks that you can sell tables and chairs and laptop stands and drawers and bookshelves and all those big chunky products, you are paying a lot more in fulfillment fees, and you are paying a lot more when you are shipping your products to the Amazon warehouse. So maybe you are finding products in China or a different country, you have to ship it to the American warehouse so the warehouse workers can ship the product to your customers. And it will cost more because it's heavier and it's bigger. So for beginners, for newbies, I really recommend these first 3 tiers. And anything over $5 in the fulfillment fee, I think is a lot. Even for myself, I've been selling for 4 years. My sizes for my products fall anywhere around $2.50 to about $3.48. So this is what I pay Amazon to have them ship the product to my customers. There will be other fees that are associated as well. So if we go to other costs, right here you have inventory fees, rental book service fees. You guys probably won't be paying this. High volume listing fees, refund administration fees. These fees are not a lot, but they do add up, which is why it's so important that you know how to find your profit margin for your product. It's absolutely crazy to me because sometimes when I talk to newbie sellers on Amazon, they don't even know their profit margin, which is why you should get some proper training and guidance if you do want to make profits on Amazon. Remember, sales do not equal net profit. And in order for you to make money that goes straight into your bank account, you really need to get into the nitty-gritty of finding your profit margin and then doing some calculations on how you can get that money to your bank account. When you advertise on Amazon, there are some fees associated as well. We will talk about advertising in a little bit. But make sure you spend some time on this page before you open your Seller Central account, because then you know exactly, okay, how much am I looking at to spend? But it really doesn't matter that much at the end of the day. What matters is finding a good, profitable product, which we will talk about next. And as long as you have a good, high demand, profitable product, I promise you, these fees will be non-existent. So you should also look at fulfillment by seller. If you do have your own warehouse or you guys are using a 3PL, you want to be familiar with some of the fees listed here. Okay, so we are not going to spend too much time talking about the numbers. I'm sure you guys can do your own research on this page. And once you are done, you just hit sign up and then follow the prompts to create your Seller Central account. I want to stress that with every single business that you decide to start, there will always be expenses involved. If there were no expenses, if everything was for free, if everything was handed to you for free and shipping was for free and referral fees were free, there's no such thing, we will all be multimillionaires. But that is just not the case in reality. And this is why it's so important to learn about numbers. Okay, moving on to the next thing that you need to become successful selling on Amazon FBA, you need a winning product. So there are good products and there are also really bad products. If you guys choose a bad product, you are going to risk losing a lot of money. I'm not trying to scare you, but it's very important that you learn how to look for money-making products, products that will pay you, products that have a good amount of demand but is not saturated, products that have big profit margins, products that don't have too much of a heavy fulfillment fee when you are doing Amazon FBA. These are the type of products that you need. I previously did a YouTube video right here where I talk about all of the new ways to look for winning products for 2021. So please take a moment to refer back to that video. But something you need when you are starting your Amazon FBA business is a software tool that will help you look for these winning products. I like to use Helium 10. Helium 10 is a big software company that helps you look for winning products and helps you manage your entire Amazon FBA product. Now, I'm not going to go over all of these tabs on the left side, but I do want you to become familiar with this software because this software is going to help you scale to the moon. If you don't have a software, Amazon is not going to work for you. You have to do keyword research. You have to build your product listing properly. You have to understand analytics and understand marketing. Right here, we are in Black Box, Amazon Product Research. Like I said, go back to that previous YouTube video I did because I go very in depth with these options right here. But long story short, you have to know how much monthly revenue in a product you want to look for. What is the price of the product that you want to search for? How many reviews are you looking for in your competitors? What is the review rating? What is the shipping size tier? I go very in depth with these metrics in the other YouTube video. There are also some advanced filters here. So basically you are trying to put in a specific criteria where it will pull up specific products that will make you money. So for example, if the monthly revenue of a product is $1 to $500, you're not going to be making any money on Amazon, which is why you probably need some guidance when you are filling this out. You can watch the free video right here. You click on Learn, and Helium 10 will guide you on how to use these metrics, but you need to know what you are putting in. And you also need to know what categories you need to be focusing on that will make you money. Not all categories are good. In fact, a lot of them are not ideal for beginner sellers. For beginners, you should be choosing a product that is easier, that is lighter, not an electronic, not heavy, not easily breakable. There's so many things that you should consider as your first product because you want to start lowering your risk in the very beginning of your business. The last thing you want to do is sell the wrong product and then end up losing thousands and thousands of dollars. Again, this is not to scare you, but it does happen. And if you don't know how to enter the right metrics and do your proper product research, then you shouldn't be selling on Amazon FBA at all. This is definitely not a business where you dive in blindfolded just to see how it goes. If you watch this YouTube video right here, I talk about my first losing product. This loser product, I lost over $5,000 because I didn't know what I was doing. Of course, that was 4 years ago. I'm in a much better position today, but I don't want that to happen to you. So make sure you know how to enter these metrics and just watch the Learn button to get familiar on how to use this Amazon product research tool. If you want more free training from me, all you have to do is click on free Amazon training in the YouTube description below. You can sign up for my free training, watch the training to the very end, and you will have an option to book a one-on-one strategy session with myself or with my team. On the strategy session call, we will analyze your entire business and situation and give you direction on where to go in your Amazon FBA business so you can become successful. Next up, you will need to find suppliers to make your Amazon FBA product. A lot of us use Alibaba. Now, sometimes I get questions from beginners and they ask me, Tamara, do you think it's wise to look for a supplier in the United States or in a different country? The answer is yes and no. So a lot of the times I prefer Alibaba, and Alibaba is what I teach because their prices are so low. When you guys develop a really good relationship with your supplier and you've been using the same supplier over and over again, ordering larger quantities as you go along in your Amazon FBA business, you can negotiate lower prices for your inventory as well. You will have to spend some money on inventory. Now, I don't expect anyone to spend thousands and thousands of dollars upfront for inventory. That's not how we do things at all. For my very own students, I like to teach them to source products at a lower price to start. So at the very beginning of your business, you should be sourcing products anywhere from $2, $3, maybe even $4. And if you are lucky, you will be able to find products for as low as $1. I remember my first winning product, I was selling a children's toy and I sourced that product for 93 cents. 93 cents. It was super light, and that's it. I was doing over $30,000 per month after half a year in my business, which I thought was really amazing. This was over 3 years ago, and a lot has changed since then. But I'm sharing this story with you because there are so many different types of products that you can find at a lower price, and then you sell it on Amazon for a much higher price. And again, make sure you know your profit margin, because without a profit margin, you are not going to get paid. So for most products, I do recommend Alibaba, but if you are sourcing products, anything that goes in your mouth, anything that goes on your skin, anything that you eat, I would rather source those types of products in your own country. So for example, I have a student that is sourcing hot sauce, and he sources hot sauce locally in the United States. You don't want to trust Chinese suppliers when it comes to anything that goes on your skin or goes in your mouth, because they may not have the proper documentation. When you are shipping your products from China to the United States, the border might ask for documentation if they find that there's anything suspicious about your inventory. And sometimes Chinese suppliers may not have that documentation. So you have to obtain proper documentation in your own country in order to sell these types of products. But you don't have to worry about that, because I don't suggest any new Amazon seller to sell any skincare products or anything that goes in your mouth. You shouldn't be selling vitamins as well as a beginner, because we're trying to lower our risk. If you are selling anything that goes on your skin or in your body, you are now increasing your risk, because what if someone gets sick from your vitamins? What if someone gets a rash by applying your face cream? People can potentially sue you. And again, not trying to scare you, but we are trying to lower our risk as beginners. So make sure you find a product that is simple, that is light, that has high demand. And if you do decide to source food, I see that there are a few food products here that I highly recommend you to stay away from in China. Make sure you source it locally. But your best bet as a beginner is to start with some easier products, maybe in beauty and personal care, maybe in home and garden, or office products are really good as well. Packaging and printing, there's so many different options. So don't make your life hard by sourcing anything that goes on your skin or goes internally inside of your body. Also, electronics are bad, because if your electronic is not working properly, your customers may get electrocuted. So if you do source an electronic, I'm not going to stop you, but make sure you guys are getting all of your units inspected, especially if you are sourcing anything that is an electronic going in your mouth or anything like that. We don't want to end up in a bad situation. So, all right, what happens when you find a product that you want to sell? Well, like I said earlier, you have to find out your profit margin for your product. So I am going to use the kids play tent as an example today. By the way, don't sell a kids play tent anymore. I know a few people selling this product and they are making so much money, and now it's oversaturated. So don't sell the kids play tent, but this is how you look for your profit margin. So now you are wondering, how much money will you actually be taking home? Let's look at this guy right here. So this is Mount Rhino Space World's Kids Play Tent Playhouse. Okay, if you have Helium 10 installed as a Chrome extension, which you will need when you are doing product research, this is my Helium 10 Chrome extension right here. And you guys can download this. Just Google Helium 10 Chrome extension and download it so you have it right here. But once this is installed, you now go to calculate fees. You see how all of these products have calculate fees. Click on that. So your supplier will be telling you the dimensions of your product, and you will be entering it in right here. They will tell you the weight. Your freight forwarder will tell you how much it will cost to ship your product to the Amazon warehouse. And then you just adjust all of the numbers after you find the information. And right down here, it will give you your profit margin percent and tell you how much money you are making from selling this kids play tent. So right here from January to September, we are making $12.32 per unit. This is the net profit. But from October to December, you notice it's a little lower. Well, that's because FBA fees go up during Q4. Q4 stands for quarter four, which is the most busiest time of the year because it's Christmas and New Year's and everybody's shopping during Q4. So that's why your profit is a little lower compared to January to September. But this is good to know. So you have an idea of how much money you are bringing home. And this would be the margin. This is the percentage of your product. So January to September, we have $34.23. And then October to December, it's slightly lower. This is nothing to worry about during Q4 because you will be selling larger in volume as well. Since everybody is shopping during the holiday season, you can expect to make a lot more sales in volume, and volume will make up for your net profit. A general rule of thumb to follow, so you guys know, you need a net profit margin from anywhere between 25 to 35%. A lot of us, we have about a 30% profit margin. And the reason why you want that 30% profit margin or 35% profit margin or 25% is the lowest I would go when it comes to private label products on Amazon. You need some room for advertising and you need some room in your profit margin where you can restock your inventory. When you run out of inventory, you need to restock and you have to buy inventory again. So that's why you need a high enough profit margin so you can afford all of those types of expenses in your business. And right here, there's ROI from January to September and October to December as well. So one thing to keep in mind again is to make sure your profit margin is healthy. I personally don't source products if it's lower than about 27%. Sometimes our products only have a 23% profit margin, and that is because we're taking money out from the business and launching new products. Whenever you launch new products, it will take a slight dip in your profit margin percent. And that is normal because you're reinvesting into your business to grow your revenue long term. That's very important to understand. But long story short, just make sure you have a healthy profit margin before you decide to pay your supplier to make your product. Last but not least, after you find your product, after you source it, after you figure out your profit margin and you are ready to go, you guys have to learn how to launch your product, get your product to page 1, because that is where all of the customers are. I mean, imagine yourself shopping online. Do you ever scroll to page 20 or page 30, page 10 to look for a product? Of course not. We always like to look on the first page, and when we find that product, we just add it to cart and buy it, and that's it. That is a normal behavior of shopping online. I know a lot of people do that. So you have to learn how to launch your product. I launch all of my Amazon FBA products by using Amazon advertising. Amazon PPC advertising, which stands for pay per click. So you will be running ads using Amazon advertising to rank your products up to page 1. Now, this is a whole different conversation. I can go on and on and on. Literally go on 24 hours about learning how to use PPC. So I suggest you to watch this tutorial right here, a step-by-step Amazon PPC tutorial where I teach you how to set up your Amazon PPC campaigns and understand the structuring of your campaigns so you can get some success with launching. You guys should not be paying your suppliers at all. Please do not spend any money on suppliers. Do not spend money on inventory until you are confident in knowing how to use Amazon PPC. Advertising anything online is really challenging, especially if you are a beginner. And yes, you do need Amazon PPC in 2021 and going forward to successfully launch your product. So these 2 sellers right here, these 4 actually, they are all sponsored. This means they are using Amazon advertising to force their ad to page 1 so shoppers will see their ad and hopefully buy their product. If you are someone that has no clue about Amazon advertising right this moment, do not worry because I have so many videos on my YouTube channel that will help you get started. And again, do not spend any money until you are fully confident and have a really good solid idea on how to launch your product. This is the PPC platform that you will be using, and right now it may seem intimidating and confusing, but I assure you it's really not. You just need to learn everything from beginning to end before you spend any money, so you are in full confidence before paying your suppliers and getting your business up and running. Think of it like this. When you are running Amazon PPC sponsored ads and putting your products on the first page here, you are going to drive more traffic. The more traffic and the more customers that land on your product listing, they like your product, the more money that you will make. But if you don't know how to get the traffic, then having a winning product will be useless. You can have a really good product, but if you don't know how to launch it, that will be another big problem. It's like opening up your own coffee shop. Maybe you have a big passion for coffee and you want to open up a physical location where you can sell coffee to customers. Well, what good is having really good coffee if you don't know how to attract customers? You can have a coffee shop, but there will be no customers. So same situation here. You can have a really good product, but if you don't know how to launch your product and get your customers, you will not get paid. I hope today's YouTube video has been helpful for all of you beginner Amazon FBA sellers. If you want more free training from me, all you have to do is click on free Amazon training in the YouTube description below. You can sign up for my free training, watch the training to the very end, and you will have an option to book a one-on-one strategy session with myself or with my team. On the strategy session call, we will analyze your entire business and situation and give you direction on where to go in your Amazon FBA business so you can become successful. All right, guys, if you have any comments, just drop it in the comment section below. I'll see you guys in my next video.